Hi guys, good to see you. Hopefully this is the last time we have to, not the last time, next week will be the last time that hopefully we'll be back to meeting as Embrace, but also as Grid, where we're working through this. The Grid is the Sunday school, essentially, our Sunday morning group that we run here at Dronfield Baptist. I know lots of you who are engaging with this are not here at Dronfield Baptist. That's fine. Get in touch if you want me to continue going through this with you guys. I'm sure I can. I'm sure the notes that I produce every week for our Sunday morning group here, I can share with you. Please do not start coming here on Sunday mornings. If you are part of another church, please stay at your church. Why move? We will send you back. If I know you're linked to another church and you remember there, I will send you back to that other church. If you're not done church, and there's a couple on connecting with us weekly who don't do church and haven't done church, and I've only really started doing church since lockdown, since we've been doing this. It's great to see you on Sunday mornings. But get in touch, and it'd be good to see you. Really good news about the summer events. It's looking likely that the Youth Fest will be running here for 3 days. It will definitely now be going ahead. There's a load of guys from St Paul's, and there's the guys who are from DBC who are involved. And hopefully our friends down at the Oaks will be coming. I got an email yesterday from Charlotte who wants to talk a bit more about it. Hopefully we will be able to meet together and plan it and do it together, because that's how I like doing youth work. So just doing it our one way. We do it together and we do it for God. And as we continue reading through this book, we find ourselves today at page 140. All about how does prophecy work, and we're going to do page 140, 41, 42 and the first bit of 43, and it's all about how does it work. Does God go, Andy, I need you to say this to this person at this time? We can read in Numbers 12, 6-8 that actually Moses gets it clear, but pretty much no one else gets it that fully clear from God. I've just done the kids video for this week, and there's Joshua who listens to God a lot of the time. Some of the time he doesn't, and God clearly speaks to him clearly. God doesn't always speak clearly, and quite often it's not that clear. And give that bit a read, and they talk in there about how sometimes people can get it off. They talk about how a prophet went into a church in America and accused a guy of stealing from his business. He got a picture of a robber with a robber mask and a bag running out of a business, and it was this fella, and he had a go at this guy and didn't do it very well in front of a whole church, instead of going up quietly with the fella and having a chat, and it caused a major problem, and that guy's reputation probably got damaged. It would have got damaged, and it turned out actually it wasn't him who'd been stealing, but his colleague, and it was a warning from God. And the interpretation, the prophet guy, the guy had got this picture and that was it, and he hadn't really fully understood it. And sometimes you might get pictures and it's a case of going, oh, okay, God, what's this all about? Mine and Beck's were really good friends, Sarah and Mark. They asked us to pray for them at their wedding. So we obviously spent a week, month, whatever, praying for them. We still pray for them. Sarah and Mark are godparents to one of our boys, but we were praying for them, and I got a picture of a man and a woman hugged together, and then sort of with floating in space, and then sort of like a bandage around them, fully bandaged them. It was all very odd, and they were naked, but it wasn't obvious that they were naked. No rude bits, you just saw their backs, and two people embraced like that, and sort of this bandage around them, and in space, and it was like, what? That is mental. What? I can't share that. And I spent about 4 or 5 weeks talking to God, going, okay, I think you've given me this image. Who's it for, firstly? I think this image, and I put it down, and I came back to it the next day or later on that day when I was praying, and it was like the image came back, and it was like, okay, I'm getting rid of this image. Okay, what's going on in my head? And then no, back it is, and it was like, right, okay, maybe this is from you, God. Is it from you, God? And it didn't go away, so it was like, well, maybe it is. It was like, who's it for? And yeah, we were praying for lots of people at this point, as we always are, but it felt really strongly. It's for Sarah and Mark. So it was like, right, okay, Sarah and Mark. What does it mean? What's the bandage? Why are they floating in space? I still don't know why they're floating in space. I need to be really clear with this. God didn't reveal that bit to me, but he revealed that those two people were Sarah and Mark, and that they were together. And it was like, okay, that makes sense. It's they're getting married. They're together. Cool, that makes sense. What's this bandage? And it wasn't really like a bandage like when you wrap around. It was sort of like, it wasn't slimy, but it was sort of like watery bandage, I guess. Covering them, and it was like, well, what's that? And I kept going back to God, and God revealed to me, it was like, well, that's me. I'm completely covering and completely surrounding them. And then it was like, right, okay. So you're saying, God, that this marriage, they're there, but you are covering it. And then there was also this pole between them. Sorry, I forgot that bit. Comes to me as I talk, reminds me. There was a pole, circular and about that big, down between them, and they're wrapped around this pole, and that was God as well. It revealed that was God, and sort of out of this pole came this bandagey sheath thing at the bottom as well. It covered them. Anyhow, instead of going to them and going, I think God's given me this image that sounds completely mental. I don't know what the space stuff, there were stars and stuff behind. I don't know, and they're black and they were floating. Still don't quite know what that was. God didn't reveal that bit to me. But it was, instead of me just going, oh, God's given me a picture of two people with a pole wrapped around the pole and then wrapping them up and floating in space with stars. I went up to someone on the street and told them that, or someone I knew, they'd be like, you what? What are you talking about? Are you nuts? But by going to God with it and going, okay, who's it for? All right, what does it mean? And this was a couple of weeks. This wasn't like God instantly telling me. It was over a couple of weeks. I was like, God revealed more of it. And then he revealed more of it. And what was that picture? That picture was a picture of Sarah and Mark, not only surrounded by God, but they had God in the middle of their marriage. And we shared it, and I still remember it. I don't know, 15 years probably later, maybe not 15, 10 probably 12, 13, 14 years. God, it was a while ago. And I don't know why I chose this one, because there's lots of examples I can use. I think the point that Mike and Andy are making, and certainly the point that I'm sort of hammering home, is that if God gives us something, go back to him with it. Who's it for? When's it for? It was clearly for Mark and Sarah, and it just happened to be their wedding, and Bex and I were leading the prayers, so it was like, well, maybe it's to do with that. And it was like, yeah, it is. Okay, cool. And what God's given us as that picture works. And actually, Becca sort of drew the picture for it. So yeah, if God gives you a word for someone, you don't have to go and share it immediately. It's worth going back and going, God, who is this for? What's this for? It might be very clear, this is for this person. I feel very strongly. God sometimes works like that, but it's good to go back. And it's often good to go, I think God is saying, not to go, God is saying, unless you're unbelievably confident. I always leave sort of a get out of jail free card. So I think God might be saying this. Sarah and Mark, with that one, it was a definite bosh. It's for them. And that's what it is. And that was fine. And I was confident in that. But often it's like, I think God's maybe saying this. I think God's maybe saying that. So yeah, that's all I've got to say. So looking forward. I'll see you next week on here via this. I'll see you on the Zoom tonight, Thursday night. But hopefully we'll be able to stop that soon and see each other. It's good to see you, Millie, the other day. She popped around dropped a pump off flowers that we'd lent. It was good to see her. I think I saw Emma the other day. It was good to see Emma as well. So yeah, guys, looking forward to catching up soon. And yeah, have a great week. I'll see you next week. And I think I'll see some of you this Sunday at church. And I think some of you even come back to us for a bit of a barbecue and to watch the England game. So yeah, it'll be good to see you. Looking forward to seeing you soon, face to face in church, doing stuff. And yeah, have a good week, guys. Keep well. God bless.